السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الله أكبر الله أكبر. الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله. الحمد لله خالق الوجود من العدم، وجاعل النور من الظلم، ومخرج الصبر من الألم، وملقي التوبة على الندم. فنشكره على المصائب كما نشكره على النعم، ونصلي على رسوله الأكرم ذي الشرف الأشم والنور الأتم والكتاب المحكم، وكمال النبيين والخاتم سيد ولد آدم، الذي بشر به عيسى بن مريم ودعا لبعثته إبراهيم عليه السلام حين كان يرفع قواعد بيت الله المحرم. فصلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى أتباعه خير الأمم الذين بارك الله بهم كافة الناس العرب منهم والعجم. فالحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا. والحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا. والحمد لله الذي نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ به من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن محمدًا عبد الله ورسوله أرسله الله تعالى بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله، وكفى بالله شهيدا. فصلى الله عليه وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. ثم أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وإن شر الأمور محدثاتها، وإن كل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. يقول سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم بعد أن أقول أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: زين للناس حب الشهوات من النساء والبنين والقناطير المقنطرة من الذهب والفضة والخيل المسومة والأنعام والحرث ذلك متاع الحياة الدنيا والله عنده حسن المآب قل أنبئكم بخير من ذلكم للذين اتقوا عند ربهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها وأزواج مطهرة ورضوان من الله والله بصير بالعباد اللهم اجعلنا من عباده. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي امري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم ثبتنا عند الموت بلا اله الا الله اللهم اجعلنا من الذين امنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر امين يا رب العالمين. My khutbah today is primarily dedicated to the students at the university and by extension young people across this country and inshallah ta'ala the world. I want to start by telling you a little bit about some background of what life is like for college students in a non-Muslim country, Muslim students in a non-Muslim country. The first thing they're afraid of is falling into fitna. When you go to a university like NYU, or you go to Columbia, or you in the United States, or you go to Georgetown or some other university, the Muslims are the minority, the non-Muslims are the majority, of course. And the culture and the environment of the university is one that can completely destroy you. It is a place of learning. It is a place where you're going to get exposed to different kinds of ideas and enhance your mind, absolutely. But at the same time, you don't just walk into a class, learn your lessons, and go home with your eyes closed. You have to walk through a campus. And on that campus, you're going to be exposed to quite a few things. Some of your best friends are going to be into drugs, and they're going to be going to parties, and they're going to be inviting you to them. Their classrooms are going to be co-educational, so you're going to be sitting next to a girl that's barely dressed, and there's no other seat for you to sit. And you have a 3-hour class sitting there next to this girl. There's going to be, the interaction between men and women is completely open. And at first, if you're a Muslim and you want to hold on to your values, you're very scared for yourself, and you're extremely worried, and you're constantly looking down as you're walking through campus. But when 6 months go by and 1 year goes by, your eyes start rising a little more than a little more than a little more. And at first, when somebody spoke to you, some girl came up to you and spoke to you, you said, Astaghfirullah al-Azim, and you became very nervous and shy and looked the other way, and she thought maybe you have a problem with your eyes, you can't look straight because you look that way all the time. But later on, it's completely fine. So you become completely comfortable. Human beings get used to their environment. I'll give you an example of that. If you live in a city where there's a lot of pollution and there's a lot of smoke, then you don't notice it. But when some tourist comes, they're coughing all the time. If you've been cooking food in your home, the whole home smells like cooking, you don't smell it. But when some guest comes, they're like, oh wow, you're cooking. They can smell it. You get used to the environment and it becomes normal for you. So for a lot of students, Muslims that are trying to hold on to their iman in a non-Muslim environment, it becomes very difficult. They have to go out of their way to say, this is not normal. Even though everybody's doing it, this is not normal. The normal way for me to be is to protect my dignity. I have to stand up for the teachings of this deen no matter where I am. Whether the majority is Muslim or not, whether anybody's watching me or not, whether my parents are with me or not. And so the youth, especially the youth that are trying to hold on to their deen, the men and women, for a girl to wear hijab at Georgetown University is not easy. That's not easy. And they do. They do. And for a young man to hold on to his 5 daily prayers at NYU is not easy. But they do. And some of them are holding on, and may Allah Azza wa Jalla continue to protect them. But you know why I'm talking to you about the other side of the world? Because I'm here now, and here, mashallah, we're at the International Islamic University of Malaysia, where you walk in and you see Rabbi Zidni Ilman, and you see the minarets, and I'm almost in tears. SubhanAllah, this exists. That this is a place where the entire campus is, the majority of it is believers. The Asatidha are, mashallah, sources of ilm and inspiration. Muslims are encouraging each other to be better. But you know what? What I want to share with you today is that you are not in any less danger than the student in Georgetown University. You're not any safer. Your struggle is the same. The Muslim is going to be put under fitna. The Muslim is going to be tested no matter where they are. No matter where they are. And on the one hand, in the Quran, Allah Azza wa Jalla describes people who were in a difficult environment because everybody around them was against Islam. But Allah Azza wa Jalla in the Quran also describes Banu Israel. And Banu Israel were a Muslim nation at that time. They had many prophets. And the majority was Muslim. And yet they fell into fitna, didn't they? They made many mistakes. Even though they were not in a non-Muslim environment, they were a young man or a young woman is over there and they see something wrong happening, they say, this is how the non-Muslims do it. This is their way. This is not our way. We are better than that. But here you might see Muslims doing things. You might see a fellow believer involved in activities. Your own friends involved in things. And it slowly becomes normal for you. You know, we're just talking. We're not doing anything else. So that's the first thing I wanted to illustrate to all of us. Wherever we're living on Allah's earth, the fitna will come, the trial will come, especially at a young age. Now the second thing I want to give to you is not just guilt. It's actually an acknowledgement that Allah put certain things in human nature. Allah created us a certain way, and He says Himself, أَلَا يَعْلَمُ مَنْ خَلَقَ. Doesn't He know who He created? He knows. He's the designer, the creator, the engineer of this human being and our personalities and our emotions, the things we desire, the things we're attracted to. These are things Allah put inside of us, and He mentioned that in the ayah that I began my khutbah with. In Surah Al-Imran, Allah says, زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ الشَّهَوَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ. I won't go through the entire ayah, just this first part. For people, this is not just Muslims or non-Muslims, it's all people. The love of different kinds of desires was beautified that comes from women. In other words, men are obsessed with women, and this was put inside of them. It's not even something they can control. It's not even something they can help. It's just there. It's just there. It was put inside of you. You didn't develop it yourself. Zuyyina is the silatul maj'ul. It's the passive form. The other unique thing about this ayah is Allah does not say that the shahawat were, beautified. Hubbu shahawat. Hubbu shahawat. And hope is something natural that comes to the human being. Love of fulfilling desires. So, unlike the Christian tradition, for example, in which they make you feel guilty for temptation. They say temptation is an evil, and the devil is trying to give you temptation. The Quran is saying that your urges and your desire and your attraction to the opposite gender is actually something Allah put in your fitrah. He put that inside of you. Like an Arab poet famously said, if you don't have any desires, if you don't know what desire is, then you should just eat grass like a mule, because you're not even a human. But let me tell you why these desires and this temptation is important, and it's not an evil. It is part of our fitrah. It is in our nature to desire the opposite gender and to be attracted to the opposite gender, because if it wasn't the case, and if Allah did not put desires inside of us, then we would have no motivation for Jannah. When Allah is promising me a beautiful house in Jannah, and a beautiful garden in Jannah, and a beautiful spouse in Jannah, if I'm not attracted to any of those things, what does that mean to me? Nothing. It is only because I desire these things here, I'm attracted to these things here, that I say, if Allah has created this beauty on this earth, what will Allah give me in the akhirah? The entire motivation for the akhirah that Allah has built is based on the fitrah that He put you and me on. Fitrat Allah, التي فطر الناس عليها. This is the one molded by Allah Himself. So it is not evil in and of itself. Your desire to live in a beautiful house is not evil. Your desire to have a nice car is not evil. Your desire for a beautiful spouse is not evil. But Allah Azza wa Jalla didn't just give us these desires, He gave us the ability to control them and to manage them, not to crush them. We cannot eliminate them. There will never be a time when you will never want anything. Where, you're just so close to Allah that a beautiful woman walks by and the thought doesn't even cross your mind that you're going to look. It's never going to happen. You are going to remain who you are, a human being. The desire will always be there. And it's not actually, we're not even capable of doing that, and Allah is not asking us to do that. What He is asking us to do is to be careful. And to channel all of these desires in a way that pleases Him. That instead of making life more difficult for you, life becomes easy for you. And that's the second point I want to make for you. Why, for so many young people, they say Islam, man, is so hard, everything is haram. Everything is so many rules, so many restrictions, everything is difficult. Why does Allah Azza wa Jalla give us rules? And why does He give us guidelines and make certain things forbidden? Why does He do that? He does that, He tells us Himself in Surah Al-Nisa. He says, يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُخَفِّفَ عَنْكُمْ وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. Allah wants to lighten your burden. He wants to make things easier for you. As a matter of fact, I'll give you the example of a child. A child wants candy, he wants chocolate. And if you give him the entire pack, he'll finish the entire pack. If you give him the second one, he'll finish the second one. If you give him the third one, he'll finish the third one. And then he's going to say, my stomach hurts. I need to go to the doctor. Human nature is when we desire something, we take more of it, and more of it, and more of it. Even
pizza. Stop so much food, and they can't stop. They keep eating and eating and eating. This is a tendency inside human beings. They cannot stop themselves. So much so that they end up harming who? Themselves. The reason Allah put haram in place, the reason Allah put prohibitions in place, is so that you only take so much that you can stay healthy in this dunya and in the akhirah. That you control yourself and you protect yourself from harm in this world and in the next world. And so Allah Azza wa Jalla, when it comes to my desire and your desire for the opposite gender, He puts some rules in place. But these rules are different from food. They're not the same. It's not like the prohibition of alcohol. Like we cannot consume alcohol. It's not the same that the prohibition of zina. It's not like that. Or the prohibition of killing someone. You know, you're not supposed to kill another human being. That's a prohibition too. Or the prohibition of, consuming riba, for example. These prohibitions are there, but the prohibition between men and women is different. It's different. Allah does not say, La tazinu. He says, La taqrabu zina. La taqrabu al-fawahish. And the expression I want to talk to you more about, this is the next part of my khutbah, is how does Allah teach us to stay away from this evil? How do you have that desire but stay away at the same time? He says, La taqrabu al-fawahish ma dhahara minha wa ma batan. One small expression from Surah Al-An'am covers everything. Even though this is one of the most powerful subjects in the entire Quran. A very heavy subject in the Quran, al-fahisha. Let's look at it bit by bit. First of all, He said, La taqrabu, don't go near it. Don't go near it. He doesn't say don't go near alcohol. He just says don't consume it. Just get away from it. He doesn't say don't go near killing someone. Or don't go near la taqrabu riba. He doesn't say that. But He says la taqrabu zina. In other very few places Allah says don't go near something. Usually you tell someone don't do it. Don't eat this. Don't say don't go near this food. You say don't eat it. Allah will say things about crimes. As you are getting closer, you are actually in more and more and more danger. You're in more and more danger. If you go to the store, and you're walking by the refrigerator, and they have all these juices, but you have some stores, they also have beer. When you walk by the beer, you're not tempted. You're not tempted. But when you walk by a female that you're attracted to, something happens to you. When you walk by some restaurant that's selling pork, nothing happens to you. Nothing happens to you. When you walk by someone you're attracted to, and you see something that calls the attention of your eyes, or you smell a perfume, something happens in your brain immediately. There are studies on this stuff. Some psychologists even argue that it's actually predisposed human nature. They're bound to look. Like if you hear the clacking of high heels, your eyes are just going to go there. There's social psychology studies done on this. What is the Muslim told? Even if you look, the Prophet ﷺ told us, even if it's in your nature to just want to look, the first glance is for you, the second one's against you. Put your eyes away. يَعْدَمُ خَائِنَةَ الْأَعْيُنِ. The first one is not خَائِنَةَ الْأَعْيُنِ. The second one is, watch yourself. Watch it. This is the mercy of this deen. Allah doesn't say never look at women. Or you can never look at, if you even get a single glance, you are going to burn it. No. Wait. There's a human desire, there's human nature that's beyond their control. But once you did look, now you have to put yourself under control. What a powerful religion that acknowledges that weakness of the human being. Instead of blaming the human being for it, it works with it. It adapts to it, it works with it. This is what I mean by Allah ya'lam al-khalaq. Doesn't He know who He created? He knows that the temptation and the desire is there. Now, He says, La taqrabu, don't go near it. You know what that means for you and me? That means we have to identify what are different things that we do. What are different environments that take me closer and closer and closer. Everybody knows zina is haram. Everybody knows intimacy between a man and a woman that are not married to each other is haram. That is clear. There's no confusion there. But not everybody is clear if they're sitting at a restaurant and just talking about the weather. They're not really doing it. I didn't touch her. I just talked to her. We just had lunch. No big deal. But you know that the thoughts that are, the guys that are sitting here, the men that are sitting here, you know the thoughts that are running in your mind. There's ijma on them. I don't have to explain them to you. And this is the masjid, I don't have to spell them out to you. The thoughts that cross your mind, you know them. You are inching closer in your mind. Maybe she would be a good wife. I don't know. But maybe I should find out more about her. Maybe we should have a few more lunches together. Or you just sit in the university, in the classroom, and the sister, you can ask any guy for the homework, but you go ask the sister, Assalamu alaikum, I didn't copy assignment probably. Could you help me with that? No, and somebody said, well, why are you doing that? No, bro, I was just asking for homework. Astaghfirullah, what are you talking about? I didn't do anything haram. Is it haram to ask for homework? You see, what you're doing, you can justify it to people, because you can clearly say asking for homework is not haram. You can say that. But you know what you can't say to yourself? Yourself. Nobody can check this for you. You have to check it for yourself. You have to uphold your character yourself. Am I doing this because I in some way am attracted to this woman? Am I doing this because somehow it feels good to me? Am I getting closer and closer and closer to fahisha? This is the kind of policing only you can do for yourself. Nobody can control it. Nobody can control it. No, and you can justify it. If you want to get away with it, you can always justify it. There's no fatwa that can protect you. There's nobody that can point a finger at you. If you want to get away with it, you will get away with it. So that's la taqrabu. Then he says al-fawahish. He doesn't say al-fahisha, subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says all forms of shamelessness. Just like in the ayah of Al-Imran, he said ash-shahawat. He didn't say shahwa. Shahwa is one desire. Shahawat is what? Multiple desires. Ash-shahawat min al-nisa. Hubbu shahawat min al-nisa. Which means our drawing and our attraction to women, men's attraction to women, is not just about physical intimacy in the end. It's not just about that. Actually, her smile is attractive to you, her voice is attractive to you, her face is attractive to you, her company is attractive to you, her comments are attractive to you. Everything about her, you're like, I love everything about her. MashaAllah, she's so knowledgeable. You know, some man is obsessed with a woman, he loves everything about her. It's not just one shahwa, it's multiple shahwat. It's multiple desires. Just like that on the other side, he said al-fawahish. He doesn't say, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الْفَاحِشَةَ. No, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الْفَوَاحِشَ مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا وَمَا بَطَنَ. All forms of temptations and lewdness, you're going to cross the line. The worst of it is zina. But there are other kinds of fahisha. Maybe you just made an inappropriate joke. Maybe you made sure your voice is a little louder so she can hear you. And you just check to see if she looked over. And you've got a beard and she's got a hijab. But that doesn't matter, my friend. That doesn't matter. When this game starts, when Shaitan starts playing this game in your head, then you don't remember the ayat at that time. All you remember is, man, I made a joke and she smiled. And that's playing in your head the whole day. The whole day. You go over and you say, Assalamu alaikum. She says, Wa alaikum assalam with a smile. And then that, Wa alaikum assalam. You're smiling the rest of the day. And nobody else knows. That's just between you and Allah. That's it. Al-fawahish are the ways you will get reeled in, the ways you will get roped in, you won't even realize. You won't even realize before it's too late. Before you realize you touched her. Before you realize things get further. Before you realize you start sending text messages to each other about how much you love her and how much you want to marry her and all of this, and when we graduate we're going to be together and all of it. I want to talk to your father one day, but I'm too scared right now. And it started already. And you're roped in and you're thinking about it all the time, and you're sitting in the classroom, the shaykh is teaching tafsir of an ayah, and you're texting, I miss you. That's what you're doing. And she's writing, I miss you back, inshallah, after Ramadan. This happens. This is a reality. We can't just talk about theory, we have to deal with reality. And if this has happened to you, you have to recognize in yourself, you've gone too far. You've crossed a line. If you want to marry this sister, go approach her family and be direct and clear. وَلَا مُتَّخِذَاتِ أَخْدَانٍ, Quran says, don't have secret people that you admire or you have romantic relationships with and you're keeping in secret. Don't do that. Don't do that. Allah knows that will happen. That's why He said it. Surah An-Nisa is revealed to Muslims. It's a Madani surah. It's revealed to Muslims. Muslims will have these problems too. So Allah Azza wa Jalla gives advice to you. So this is about al-fawahish. Understand that a text message could be fahisha. A Facebook post could be fahisha for you. That could be the way that you're crossing the line. It could be phone calls. It could be just you walking down the hall from one class to another. It could be anything. You have to identify that for yourself. I have to identify that for myself. And I have to protect myself from it. Staying away from this is just like staying away from drugs. It's just like staying away from alcohol. The people who drink it love it. And they think they cannot live without it. Just like the guy who's obsessed with the girl. He thinks he can't live without it. He thinks he can't survive. But he can. Allah has given you the strength of character. My time is up, so I'll just conclude, inshallah ta'ala, just There are aspects of shamelessness that are hidden. They are private, only you know them. And there are aspects of you crossing the line that are open, out in the open. Alhamdulillah, in a Muslim society, for the most part, you are safe from what is open. Nobody openly does all kinds of shamelessness. What you're not safe from is what is hidden. What I am not safe from is what is hidden. And this is for the men who are married and the men who are not married. This is a fitna that does not go away just because you have nikah. You have to protect yourself until the day you die. Like one of my teachers was asked, when does a man stop desiring a woman? And he said 5 minutes after death. You know, we have to protect ourselves. There is no way out. May Allah Azza wa Jalla protect this ummah and protect this youth from making those mistakes. May Allah Azza wa Jalla provide all of them healthy, clean marriages that they're able to provide and produce pure families that are going to carry the banner of Islam for the future generation. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'an al-Hakim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil ayat wa dhikr al-hakim. Alhamdulillah wa kafa wa salatu wa salamu ala ibadihi alladhina istafa khususan ala afdalihim khatim an-nabiyyin محمد الأمين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. يقول الله عز وجل في كتابه الكريم بعد أن أقول أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. عباد الله رحمكم الله اتقوا الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. أقم الصلاة إن الصلاة كانت على المؤمنين كتابا موقوتا.